Hello, you're here watching A Livelihood, New Adventures as We Age, and I'm Karma Kitaj, I'm your host. Today I'm going to introduce you to Nancy Gregg, and Nancy has been a forensic psychologist for many years, and now she has retired, although we can't say she has withdrawn at all. She's doing all kinds of interesting things. So welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, great to have you. And I think you said that really a lot of your social justice interests and your interest in fairness and equality, really stems from your early years in Corpus Christi, huh?
Initially, it was identifying the ways in which we would tend to kid ourselves about what was going on and what was fair and what were our attitudes, and find justification for the ways in which we would discriminate against others and still think we were being honorable and fair when in fact we weren't.
So you left Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
And you went to college in Austin, Texas, right? You did your undergraduate work there.
Yes, I did, and 1 year of graduate work.
Right. Yeah. And so what kind of an experience did you have there?
One assumption that I was beginning to challenge was the myth of the rugged individual, which had been very congruent with the idea of the lonesome cowboy. I had taken great pride in the fact that in my teens I'd considered myself a Goldwater Republican. And had the idea that if people just work hard enough, that they're going to be able to succeed. There are opportunities available to all. And I began to experience that wasn't true.
And then, so you did only 1 year of grad school in Texas,
right. Yes.
Right? And how come you decided to leave there?
I had a confrontation with the chairman of my department, who made it clear that he assumed that I was going to get married and have children, and that a graduate education was going to be a waste on me. I decided to withdraw from that graduate program and was accepted in Toronto, the University of Toronto. So
you got your PhD?
I got a master's there.
A master's?
And moved to Cambridge, and for a time was doing some work as a research and teaching assistant.
Yeah, and then at some point, though, you did go on and get more education?
In later years, I went to UMass Amherst and completed a doctorate, and then got licensed as a psychologist. For about 10 years, I was working in a private practice or with various mental health organizations or substance abuse treatment programs. So you told me about 3 different organizations that mean a lot to you. Yes.
Why don't you talk about them a little bit?
More Than Words is an organization that works with young people who have had a disadvantaged background. Perhaps they were court involved, DCF involved, maybe grew up in foster care, and for the most part had very limited educational background. A lot of them have not completed either high school or a GED. And More Than Words trains them to take charge of their lives by taking charge of a business. Young people work in the bookstore. There's one in Waltham and there's another in the South End. They also learn how to do a lot of online sales, book sales. I work along beside the young people in the program, and it is a wonderful opportunity to teach them those skills and give them a sense of pride and accomplishment.
And then Project Hope, you said, as well?
Yes.
Right?
Project Hope started with a shelter in Dorchester for...
Here in Massachusetts?
Yes, for homeless women and their children. The program expanded and now has offices in Roxbury to address not only the housing needs of that population, but also to provide education and job training and the skills that are going to enable these young women with young children to become self-sustaining and go on to better lives. It's really an admirable program. It's been a pleasure to work with them.
And then the third one is 99% power, right?
Yes, yes. Which is a consortium of various organizations. Some are social justice groups, environmental groups, union groups, peace groups, various activists that are just concerned about what is happening in our communities and fighting to make sure that our communities have the resources to continue the work that's going to serve the community at large. The focus is on identifying the money that is now being returned to corporate America in low tax rates, tax breaks, tax benefits, which inadvertently is depriving these communities of the resources they need to really provide for our people.
You've come a long way from your Republican Goldwater days.
Oh my goodness, yes. It's been exciting. It's been frustrating. One of the things that I've noticed has been frustrating in the petition drives, both this one that I'm involved in now and also previous ones that we're petitioning in terms of health care for all and for affordable housing. It was being out in the community trying to get signatures to get these measures on the ballot. So many people that I would approach would respond by just walking right by and saying, "I'm all set. I'm all set." And I thought, what does that mean? Does that mean if I'm not in acute pain right now, I don't need to be bothered by the issues that need to be addressed in our community? Does that mean I'm not concerned about the people that are less fortunate than me? Yeah. So, and I don't know what that phrase means, but once again, I'm concerned by the rugged individual mythology is maybe impacting our society more than we recognize. I think we're subject to so much self-deception.
So, the part of your history that we skipped over lightly, but which occupied you for a very long time, is when you were a forensic psychologist.
Yes.
Right, with the courts.
Yes.
So, say a little bit about that. What did you do there?
Mental health evaluations at the request of the court, and it might have been a probation evaluation or a competency to stand trial evaluation, criminal responsibility evaluation. A lot of it was also civil commitments, where people would approach the court saying that someone is in need of involuntary substance abuse treatment or mental health treatment.
Okay, so we have one more piece that we need to talk about, and this is another community that you've made for yourself in your musical community, right?
Yes.
And that's a remarkable thing to me, that you say you started playing the bass guitar, right?
Yes.
At age 58.
Yes.
And you've been very actively doing that, right?
Yes, it has been an amazing struggle, but an amazing delight. After I had been with my bass teacher for about 2 years, and he had been harassing me, "You've got to play with other people. You can't just sit and play along to your CDs all your life. You need to be playing music with other people." He had been encouraging me to call the John Payne Music Center, and finally I did, and was really frightened about the prospect of playing with other people because I knew that my musical skills were so limited. But it's just been a wonderful experience. It's been a delight. We play every Wednesday night together. We practice as an ensemble. Several times a year we'll play at Riles or maybe elsewhere.
And Riles is in
Cambridge.
Cambridge?
Yes.
Is it Cambridge or Somerville? I never know. But
Cambridge, yes.
Cambridge, right
Yes.
here in the
Inman
Boston
Square.
area.
Yes.
And we happen to have our local director here, Sandy Orenstein, who has made a wonderful video about your group.
He did a lovely job. He filmed us in practice sessions and at Riles and did some interviewing. He really wanted to let people know what was available at places like the John Payne Music Center, because I think there are a lot of people like myself who have, decided it's time, it's now or never. Sandy's video is Never Too Late to Play.
and people can watch it
Yes.
if they go onto the website here at batv.org. Well, thank you for talking with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it.